You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video. Hey guys, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. Some of you know me on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you with another Let's Play episode of Remember the Flowers. I can't get over how amazing this screen is. It's incredible. I love how detailed this is. God. It just makes me so excited to see the rest of the game. But yeah, guys, this is the last place we left off. We're about to go out with our boyfriend, and then we woke up in a dark, dark alleyway, and I don't know, maybe this character's living two lives in different timelines simultaneously. That is an interesting concept. Alright, guys, please sit back and enjoy for the next 18 minutes. Let me entertain you, and let's jump right in. Alarm saying you're up, and let's go. Alright. I exhale with a haggard breath. I'm still hoping this is just a weird dream because I can't even remember my own name. I then spend the next half hour alternating between doing breathing exercises and having an existential crisis. The more I think about myself, the more I realize I don't know who I am. I'm thinking clearly, but there's not much to think about. All I know is Diana and Damien are very close to me, and I wish they were here right now. I feel a sort of sadness at all the things I can't remember. All my relationships and experiences just gone. One thing's for sure, this is no dream. Maybe it's a nightmare? If it was, it'd be the most boring nightmare I'd ever had. I say that, but I'm still fairly spooked. I move past the notion that I'm dreaming, however. The sensations I've felt since waking up are too real. Even so, periodically I pinch the skin of my forearm. I can definitely feel I'm pinching the skin, but I don't feel any pain. It's basically numb. Same with the back of my head. That blow I must have taken did a serious number on me. It doesn't take a doctor to figure out that's probably why I can't remember anything. Speaking of doctors, I replay the memory of myself and Diana laughing at our professor. It's the only entertainment I have. Well, kind of. I also think back to that earlier memory. I've come to accept the fact that it was real. And despite the fact that my eyes were closed, it all felt so visceral to the point that I can say it happened. Someone mentioned my loss of blood, and someone else covered me up. Someone left me here? But who? All I have to go on is this jacket they left behind for me. It's simple enough, but I don't recognize the style. Not that I can talk about fashion. It's better than what I have on. I can't tell if I'm wearing hospital scrubs or a prison uniform. Wish I at least had some socks. Well, wish I at least had some socks. The more I wake up, the more I realize how cold I am. I sigh. Eventually I look toward the other side of the whole alleyway. I don't think I could move those boxes easily, if at all. But I should at least try to look for help. I'm starting to get annoyed with my body, and as I still struggle to do the simplest of tasks, I can hear my panting echo softly through the alley, along with something else. Oop. Along with something else? What is it? What's he got? The sound of footsteps. I try to hold my breath. I think someone's on the other side of those boxes. Do I call out to them? Do I hide? Not that there's much room to hide. Whatever's out there starts pulling the boxes out one by one. I don't know what's in those boxes, but they don't look easy to throw around. They're just chucking them like it's nothing. I can feel my knees start to tremble. A chill runs down my spine and my teeth start to chatter. Both my knees give, and I'm back on my ass against the wall. The fear is starting to get overwhelming, and my vision starts to blur again. There aren't many boxes left, and something starts to show between the cracks. A light. Ah! Who's there? Oh, great radiant orb. A flashlight. Before I know it, the ray of light is completely covering me. It's a task to lift my arms to block the beam, and even harder to keep them in the air. I was already struggling to move without fearing for my life. I don't think I can take much more of this. I'm getting overstimulated. I feel like shutting down. Just as I start to succumb to my panic, the light suddenly shifts. Slowly, I open my eyes, peeking through the cracks of my fingers. Oh, wow, okay. The beast man holding the gun moves one step closer. Don't move, he says in a gruff, commanding voice. If I was cold before, I'm frozen now. I'm just sitting here, trying to follow his movements the best I can with what little I can see. Through the slits of my fingers, I can ascertain one thing. He's a wolf, and a tall one at that. The wolf circles around me. I can see him clearly in my peripheral. He can see my face now, along with the terrified expression I'm wearing. Gun or not, he could rip me to shreds with just those claws. Not that there's much to rip apart. I don't stand a chance at running in my current condition. Hell, I can barely stand up. So I sit here, waiting to see what he's going to do with me. He's a few feet away, gun still pointing at me. Upon closer inspection, it looks to be the size of a pistol, but it doesn't look like any model I've ever seen. Probably a stun gun or something. That thing he's got on his back looks a little more lethal. The wolf shifts his head, looking all over my body. My teeth start chattering again, reverberating through the alley. He walks up closer with intent. I shut my eyes. It's all I can do. This is the worst my breathing has been since I woke up. I can feel my empty stomach churn and my dehydrated eyes strain to tear up. The only thing that pulls me out from my panic is the feeling of something soft under my chin. Aww. Hey, buddy boy. He starts to slowly lift my head with his paw. His paw pads feel like worn leather under my chin. His breath is hot on my face. Now more than ever, I wish this was just a dream. The wolf squints his eyes and speaks to me. I can't make it out as the ringing in my ears is too loud. Is all I can muster. The wolf closes his eyes before pulling his hand away. He sits in front of me. We're eye level with each other. Are you okay? Huh? He pauses once more before repeating himself again. Are you okay? I don't respond. I'm not in the right state of mind to. He seems to pick up on this. Calm down. I'm not going to hurt you. The wolf places the gun he was holding on the ground and slides it to the other side of the alley. See? If I wanted to, I would have already. That's one gun gone, but what about the one on his back? My eyes veer to it, which he notices. I'm taking that one off. It would be too much work. He states matter-of-factly before switching to a crisscross position. You're okay. You're okay. He looks me in the eyes again before holding his paws apart in front of me. Breathe in. He pulls them closer, almost in a clapping motion. And breathe out. I'm slowly transitioning from panic to confusion, which I'd say is an upgrade. For some reason, the inflection in his voice sounds weird. He's speaking English, undoubtedly, and something's about it is off. I can't put my finger on it. Is it a dialect? Regardless, I do as he says, and start to match my breathing with his movements. We do this for a while, and slowly but surely it seems to be working. With enough time and effort, and with the help of this wolf, I bring myself out of my self-induced panic attack. After one final deep breath, I manage to get back to just breathing through my nose. I'm still breathing faster than I would like to, but it's a start. There! How you feeling? He takes a deep breath as well. I guess that did take longer than needed to. Tired and dizzy? I finally drop my hands down for a moment, before moving to hold my head. It feels like I swapped a panic attack for a headache. I'm not surprised. The wolf gets closer to me, to my head. Wow, I really don't like how close he's getting. You've lost a lot of blood. Gently, he holds my chin and shifts me to the right, revealing the back of my head. He leans in closer and takes a few sniffs. I can feel his breath again. I start to get apprehensive. I instinctively pull back. And gentle or not, this really isn't helping with my anxiety. You're still scared. Huh? He leans in. I can feel the wetness of his nose on my forehead as he trails around my head, before sniffing around some more. Sorry, the wolf says bluntly before he pulls back. Habit of mine. Okay. What's your name? He asks suddenly. I literally don't have an answer for him. I don't know. The wolf doesn't seem fazed by that. What do you know? I don't know. My motions feel like a metronome, swapping between scared and confused at the drop of a dime. I'd like to believe he's right. If he wanted to hurt me, he would have already. Now that I think about it, I don't think he could have hurt me either way, on account of the not feeling any pain. Well, that's not true. He could break my legs, and even if I couldn't feel it, I'd be at his mercy. That flash of imagery in my head makes me shudder. Wait here. Huh? His voice snaps me out of my imagination. He stands up and then moves near the alleyway entrance. I cock my head as I try to see what he's doing. Oh god, there's a hair in my eye! Get out of the way, hair! The wolf waves a paw over his right wrist, and a small screen lights up in front of him. It seems to be coming out of a bracelet he's wearing. Ugh. I squint, trying to make heads or tails of it. Seriously, where the hell am I? We certainly didn't have this kind of tech back on Earth. Whatever he's doing, he's tapping furiously on it with his fingers. For a moment, he places his free paw over his chin. He looks deep in thought. All of a sudden, he turns his attention back to me, looking me over once more before typing away again. He waits. Then I hear something. A notification? Then he starts tapping away again for about a minute before sliding the screen away. Okay, can you stand? I'm gonna take you home now. Here. The wolf walks up to me before starting to get me on my feet. He carefully gets under my armpits and lifts me up slowly, trying to keep me stable. How's that? Wait a minute. I stumble nearly to my knees, and he catches me. It's okay. I can carry you if you want. I said wait! I raise my voice, and the wolf's eyes widen a bit. I push him away, choosing to slump against the wall again. At least I'm still standing, even if barely. Who the hell are you? Where the hell am I? How do you know where I live? Even though my adrenaline from earlier is worn off, I'm starting to get hit with rising paranoia. I barely even know where I live. You can't seriously expect someone with a head injury to just go with... You can't seriously expect someone with a head injury to just go with someone they don't even know, do you? Quite feisty for someone with a head injury. The wolf sighs before walking over, then sits down in front of me again, so that I'm looking down at him. I'm kind of glad he did. My knees feel like they're about to give out, and I sit back down on the ground. I don't know how to explain this without alarming you, but you're going through a fairly common experience around here. He then taps the side of his head, barring the head injury. What do you mean? The wolf scratches the back of his head. It's best that you know as little as possible, unless absolutely necessary. That's a horrible way to build trust. I didn't mean to say that out loud, but I did mean it. I don't need your trust. I could take you by force if you really want me to. The fur on his neck bristles and my fear spikes again. He flattens back down before rubbing the back of his neck. Relax, it won't come to that if you just cooperate. I'll say this, I've done this before. Many times. Done what? Taking humans home, amnesiac or not. How do you know where I live? The wolf pauses. Do you know where Resume is? No, should I? The wolf exhales, almost in relief. Whether or not you do doesn't matter to me. Resume is one of the few cities that's mainly just humans around here. Okay, so where's around here? The wolf shakes his head. We can talk about that later. Honestly, we've dallied long enough. I just know that I have contacts here. Let me see. There, okay. He lifts his paw, pointing to that weird bracelet. I've confirmed a meeting point to get you home safely. Open my mouth, to which he interrupts. And before you ask any more questions, I gave a description of your appearance and they matched it with someone who's missing. I close my mouth. I guess you have done this before. I'm kind of surprising myself. I'm taking all this in way too quickly, aren't I? I guess when your head is nearly empty, anything new becomes acceptable. Regardless, I'm going to at least try to remain skeptical. How do I know that you're not just setting me up? The wolf smirks at that. You don't. What would you be able to do in your current situation if I was, though? He has a point. I don't know where I am, don't know where or who I am. I wouldn't be able to make it fair. I sigh. I can't tell if my ears are still ringing or if there are alarm bells going off in my head. I resign myself. I really don't have a choice. Okay, fine. It's not like I trust you, though. That's wise. I won't do anything to hurt you. You can count on that. Well, we'll see, I guess. With that out of the way, the exhaustion is starting to catch up, and I scoot back to my familiar spot against the wall. I can barely stand up, let alone walk. Not to already impose, but you wouldn't happen to have any food or water, would you? The wolf thinks it over, before turning toward the alley, listening. Yeah. We could probably have a quick bite to eat. Let me just... He walks over to the pile of crates and starts stacking them again, providing some decent coverage. There, that should be fine. I doubt anyone will go through the trouble to get through that. Besides you? Fair enough. Actually, that does make me curious. And before the wolf sits down, he plops the bag he had slung on his shoulder onto the ground. It looks a bit weird, almost like a violin case with its angles straightened out. Like an upward trapezoid. Wait, I'm getting distracted. So... how did you know I was here? Oh! The wolf taps his snout with a couple fingers. It was faint, but I could smell you a couple blocks away. He pauses. Well, your blood, anyways. I see. Well, why did you go through the trouble of finding me? The wolf takes out what seems to be a canteen and places it in front of me, along with some kind of package wrapped in what feels like plastic. Afterwards, he moves to sit next to me against the wall. I take on a lot of odd jobs. I wasn't looking for you per se. I was just in the area when I caught your scent. He takes his own package, ripping it open. Some kind of food? You should consider yourself lucky. By the looks of it, you would have lasted another day or two. Looking over myself, I'd say he's right. I'm skin and bones with an empty stomach and a concussion. Now that I think about it, I'm kind of surprised I've made it this long. Slowly, I lean forward to pick up the canteen thing. I can feel liquid inside, but I don't see a way to use it. It's a rectangular shape with no discernible opening. What? He looks up from whatever he's eating. There's water in here, right? How do I open it? He swallows. Oh! He leans over and slides his finger across the top. A small opening appears. There, it's got some nutrients in it that should help. Just drink it slow. Mm-hmm. I do as I'm told. Maybe it's because I'm so dehydrated, but this water does taste pretty rich. It's almost heavy. I choke on it for a moment, but swallow it down soon, not wanting to waste any of it. I smack my lips a bit, as if it's alcohol. You okay? Yeah, just a bit strong. Just drink it slowly. I nod, a tad embarrassed for my lack of coordination. Regardless, I'm thankful for the drink. My throat even starts to feel better in just a few minutes. Not wanting to drink it all myself, I mimic what he did earlier to close my canteen. You know, on second thought, the wolf reaches over and takes the package he gave me. I'm just going to take a guess that, judging by how you reacted to that water, you could use something a bit lighter to eat. He rummages once again in his bag, before handing me a small parcel. That should be a bit lighter. It really doesn't taste like much, but it's got some protein. Curious, I reach over and pick it up. It feels like it's wrapped in paper, though there's no labels. Even with what little strength I have, I open it fairly easily. What's inside kind of looks like saltine crackers, but brown instead of manila. I lift one up and smell it. It's like beef jerky, but only faintly. If I'm being honest, they don't look very appetizing. Beggars can't be choosers, though. I take one of the cracker things and bite into it. Yeah, he might want to get used to that. Yeah, because, like, in the future, the insects are probably going to be what we mainly consume for protein and such, because they're easily farmable, they're in abundant supply, and if using the right ingredients and the right spices and such, they can be quite delicious. Yes, I have eaten bugs before. Specifically, I think fried crickets and a scorpion pop. Yeah, a fucking scorpion pop that I got in Arizona. Yeah. The scorpion pop I did not like. Alrighty, let's continue. Thankfully, he's right. It doesn't taste like much. A little salty and a bit sweet, but not much else. Definitely the texture of a cracker. I'm just glad I got something to drink. I like this music. After a few moments of eating, I look over to the wolf. He's enjoying his meal. At least I think he is. Man, how did I end up here? Now that I have time to think, I realize something. I don't recognize his voice from the ones I heard before. I decide to speak up about this. Oh, right. I think there were people who left me here, but I can't really remember. The wolf looks over to me with a curious look. Do you remember anything about them? No, not really. Just a little bit of a conversation, probably right after I got this dent in my head. I pat the crumbs off of my shirt and hold up the jacket I woke up with. I have this, but that's it. The wolf looks over it before he grabs it from my hands and smells it. He then scrunches his nose. I guess he didn't like how it smelled because he balls it up and tosses it to the side. I think it would be best to leave it here. Take my word. Oh, okay. I start thinking to myself, whoever left that for me, I think they had my best interests in mind. Their voice seemed reassuring at least. Although, to be fair, they did leave me here like this. We should be more careful. A voice isn't enough to judge a character. Oh, wait. What's your name? We had such a shaky start that I completely forgot to ask. My name? He pauses and then sighs. Cooper. Just don't tell anyone. Why? You ask a lot of questions, you know that? To be fair, you're making it hard not to. Just eat your food. Okay. Shut up and eat. Once again, I do as I'm told, sitting in this strange alley with this strange beast man, eating this strange food. I wonder how would Damien react to this situation if he were here with me. But he'd try to carry me so he would get as far from this place as possible. A little fragment flashes through my mind of Damien giving me a piggyback ride. Alright guys, I'm gonna pause it right here. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, leave a super thanks or a tip if you can. It always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!